well, we don't know these boys. Well, then does that mean you don't know where your kid's staying at night? Because he was staying at our houses.
As far as the investigation is concerned, did you guys give your phones over to investigators? All right, we have Morgan, Jax, and Warren here. Now that I got you guys all here, what I want to do, and I want the audience to be able to have an opportunity to hear some of the things that have been put out. You guys know better than anybody else what happened. I only had, from the perspective of Warren last time, and now that you guys are here, I want to get the full perspective, and they can judge for themselves. First thing I want to start with is your relationship with Nolan. What was your relationship like? I'm sure, jump in however you feel, but there has been talks on social media that you guys are fake friends of Nolan. You weren't really his friend. Can you explain that to me and the audience?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't care what anyone says about my relationship with someone else. I know my relationship with Nolan. Nolan knew his relationship with me. I know who my best friend is, and he knew that too. I knew our relationship. But so basically, like, no one can tell me how I feel about someone or how someone felt about me, especially someone gone now. I mean, Nolan knew the relationship we had, but describing Nolan like, I think he was the funniest dude ever.
Always had a smile on his face.
Always.
I mean,
like,
if you needed to laugh, I think Nolan would be the only person, one of the only people.
I ain't never seen him like mad. Dude.
He was, I was gonna say, peacemaker.
He was.
I mean, anytime anybody had beef over somebody, over a girl or whatever, he would go over there and start talking to him. He's like, man, I think this guy's actually pretty cool. I should become friends with this guy.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, we would somehow become friends with the dude, even though or whatever. But
yeah, all of them say that Nolan was always with a smile. He always was smiling. So you can say that you all looked at him as somebody that you could easily take advantage of. Yeah, Nolan was the one that always smiled, so people looked at him as being easy to take advantage of. And when they found out that he wasn't easy to take advantage of, they were angry by it. Those of you who coming in, man, we had to start back over. My shit was... Y'all like the video for me? Subscribe to the channel.
yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah, Nolan's great. Like,
He was
I'm saying,
awesome.
like, most
Great
genuine
kid.
guy ever.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, lights up a room when he walks in it, but like, no, I'm not
No
joking.
jokes.
It's
No
like a no
jokes.
I mean, he's great, dude. Like, most genuine guy I've ever met in my life. And like, I know when people like, I know I've seen like when people pass a lot, everybody says good things, obviously. And, this isn't just me like being respectful to know him. Like, dude, that was like one of the best guys I've ever met.
I've only ever seen him mad once. Literally once. That's it. One time. I'm stupid.
What was it?
But that was the only time I've ever seen him mad. Other than that, he was always
What was
smiling or trying to figure out what we're doing that whatever. And then again, like,
Nah, that you said mad one time. And you said stupid shit. I'm glad you're saying this. Because the feds gonna use this when they question you. They're gonna be like, yeah, so you were talking to Tatum, Dick Riding Officer Tatum, in an interview, and you said there was only one time you ever saw Nolan get mad, but you didn't put emphasis on it. You didn't go into narrative. You just said, and it was over some dumb stuff. What was that dumb stuff that Nolan was mad over? It was so dumb, just let me know. Yeah, that's what they want to know. Those of you coming in, man, y'all like the video for me.
our relationship really started around, would you say, like, freshman year of high school? Like,
Well, I was like a little closer with him before y'all because, like, obviously, like, COVID year is when Nolan and I like really started hanging out, and then we all started hanging out in high school.
Wow, they just contradicted this Jack said, when was it we started hanging out with him? Like 9th grade year? Warren said, well, actually, he basically correcting Jax. He said, well, actually, you know, I started hanging out with him like I told Tatum in our first interview. I started hanging out with him 8th grade year. And then you guys got to know him in the 9th grade. But I had been hanging out with Nolan 8th grade year. Yeah, that might be a lie. No. Miss Clark, no. They have not interviewed these kids. They've interviewed these kids about these kids. They have not interviewed these kids as interrogation, asking them the questions that need to be asked. Did you have anything to do with Nolan's murder? No. They say no to that. Okay, you supposed to follow up with, did you have anything to do with the cover-up of Nolan's death? Yeah, they not asking the right questions. They not asking. They trying to cover it up.
Cool, but man, that dude's funny. Life of the party.
These boys taking interviews to talk about their own character, to solidify their own character, not for Nolan. So let's not get it wrong, Miss Clarks. Let's not get it wrong. Yo, everybody that's coming in, man, y'all like the video for me. Sub to the channel if you're not already subscribed.
Like,
Life
had
of
so
party.
much fun.
No
Like, we
doubt.
had so much fun together. Like, even going up to, like, Starkville where Morgan goes to school and, like, just every...
Freshman
Oxford,
Destin.
It was fun. Yeah, dude, it's fun. He's
awesome.
Great.
And so people, well, there was a conversation that we had, Warren, last time about you not going, ever being at his house, and people took that as if you weren't his friend. Can you guys describe what engagement did you have with Nolan at his house, with his parents, him with your
Everybody
parents? Like,
coming
how did
in,
all
like
that
the video,
circulate?
subscribe
Well,
to the channel.
Like Jack said, like, he used to pick up every day. I used to pick up Nolan every day. I used to pick up, like, literally would pick. We didn't make Nolan drive anywhere.
That's how much we
anywhere.
loved him, bro.
Like,
We just
that's
always
how-
wanted to be
Like,
there.
that's how much, like, everybody knows this too. Like, Nolan didn't drive. Like, especially, at least in our friend group, because Nolan, we always pick Nolan up,
Yeah.
regardless of where it was. Like, literally on July 3rd, Nolan rode with me and, like, rode with me to Watts because we had to get parts for a boat. But anyway, just for, you know, it's crazy that, like, I think it's kind of sad that, like, people, I have some friends of mine that I'm very, very close with, and I just don't know their parents. You know, we're great.
It itself. I appreciate that first like. Yeah. He just contradicted himself. Now, in the first interview that Warren took with Dick Riding Officer Tatum, in the first interview that he took, he told Tatum that he woke up. Wyatt woke up. They went to get the parts and shit for the boat and all of that type of shit. Now he's saying that Nolan went with them. He said Nolan went with us on the 3rd to get ready to get the parts for the boat. But when you told us with Tatum, you said that Nolan he wasn't riding with y'all. So now it's like, which one is it? Those of you who coming in, man, y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel. We had to start from scratch, baby.
Grown men, you don't have to know someone's parents to be close with them. And for someone, you know, them to come out and be like, oh, well, y'all aren't friends with somebody. Well, how are you going to tell me you're like, really horrible to say, because if you go look on every social, Instagram or Facebook or anything else, people in it We're his friends. It's not that hard to understand. I mean, I don't have to prove this to anybody, but I prove my friendship. And these guys feel the same way. We don't have to prove our friendship with Nolan, but I know it's
agree.
right.
Yeah, so was Nolan around your family then?
Oh yeah, our houses. I mean, I can even say this: Nolan and Wyatt's dad had a secret friendship that we weren't even in.
Yeah, they were like best friends.
We would go over to Wyatt's house, and Nolan, we would all be in the backyard, whatever, doing something, and Nolan would be inside on the couch with Wyatt's dad, and they would just be cutting it up all night.
Yeah, watching
all night.
movies together, like
Another reason why Wyatt was jealous of Nolan. That's another reason why he could have been jealous of Nolan. Because it seems like his dad spent more time with goddammit Nolan than he did with Wyatt. We heard how Wyatt was talking to him. Nolan, get the fuck on the boat. Get the fuck on the boat now. We're fucking leaving. I said, Nolan not gonna get on that boat because Warren is friend. Wyatt. So he gonna be like, no, I'm not hopping on that boat. Nah, I ride back with somebody else. Which I believe he chose to ride back in his head right then. He chose to ride back wherever Warren was, which Warren was on Bart's boat. But before they got all off the boat, before Bart decided to help them tow the boat, Warren told Bart that he was gonna go and help Wyatt on the 22 Triton because the 22 Triton was taking on water. And I said, if Nolan seen Warren walk into that boat, when Nolan told Katie, hey, look, I gotta go back to the boat. The guy's finna get ready to leave. Only because he saw who he called his friend, Warren, getting on that boat. And I'm sure when he got on that boat, this is what I feel. That when he why that ass hit him with the, oh, so now you want to get the fuck on my boat. No, it's too late now. Get the fuck off my boat. And Nolan didn't get off the boat, and I believe he pushed him. And Nolan hit his neck and may have broke his neck in the back, hit the surface that he broke his neck on. And that's where we saw the red blood pooling in the second autopsy. I believe that's what happened. No, Warren's us. We found out. How y'all find out? Who found out? Who said something first? We found out that Wyatt and Wyatt's dad and Nolan had a secret. They were more friends than we were with him. Wyatt's dad, they would be sitting watching sports and Scarface and stuff while we were out in the pool and everything. Nolan's over there. That's because y'all really Nolan's friends. Nolan went through shit with y'all where Wyatt's dad could talk to him and be like, hey, it's gonna be all right. Look, you got all of this ahead of you. Yeah, they've been privileged their whole life. Don't worry about them. Focus on what you're doing. Yeah, watching his highlights and all of that shit. It's crazy.
Scarface is their favorite movie.
Yeah.
They'd watch Scarface.
all the time. The effect like all this has had on everybody, not including just our friend group, but like our friends' parents and my
Listen,
Those vacations and
prom, homecoming, everything. No one's with us. We're his friends. It's not that hard to understand. I mean, I don't have to prove this. That's the truth. I don't have to prove my friendship. And these guys feel the same way. We don't have to prove our friendship with no one.
well, why you on this interview?
Right.
Yeah, so was Nolan around?
Why you on this interview? If that's how y'all feel that y'all don't have to prove y'all friendship with Nolan, what are you on this interview doing? You doing exactly what you're saying you don't have to do. Doing it in front of our face, proving yourself to be Nolan's friends. You telling us we don't have to prove that we. Well, why you doing it? Why you doing it? Because you're trying to take the attention off that Nolan just died and put it on you. Oh, I'm so innocent. I'm one of his bestest friends. Don't hate me because he came up missing and we found out he was dead. We found it out too. No, you didn't. You already knew. They said you're going to call the Coast Guard instead of saying you was going to call the sheriffs. Because you knew that y'all had left him out there on the water. Not on Horn Island, but on the water. Yeah, you knew it. And you was hoping the water woke him up when y'all decided to do it. You was hoping the water woke him up and he was just out there stranded, waiting on a boat to come get him or somebody to see him in the water. But no, he didn't wake up in time. He didn't wake up in time when his body submerged in that water. He woke up under the water, I believe. And you wake up under the water and you open your eyes, you take a deep breath in through your nostrils, you open your mouth. The water is gonna indulge your body. And his phone and his keys. Why you calling around asking everybody, have you heard from Nolan? I haven't heard from him. You know you haven't heard from him because you got it. And everybody's saying, no, I haven't heard from him. They looking in their contacts and they looking for Nolan's name to be a missed call, but they not going to get that because you got his phone. So how do I look at this and say that you wasn't just covering your ass when you was making these calls around? I can't. Yeah, my guy, you was just covering your ass when you was calling around to people. You knew you had Nolan's phone. You knew it was no way that Javon was going to be able to hear from Nolan. You knew it was no way that Tristan was going to be able to hear from Nolan. And you knew it was no way that his mom was going to hear from Nolan. Okay, you thought he was going to somebody else's phone number? Well, what did you say? Have you heard from Nolan? Because we have his phone and keys. Trying to see did he call from somebody else's number? He hasn't called us back. Why didn't you say it like that? Because you weren't planning on giving over that phone and them keys. You was planning on her to just sweep it under the rug and wait a little while longer before she reported him missing. At the same time, you telling her that you're going to call the Coast Guard, which means you feel that he's out there on the water and not made it back to shore. But it was okay for you to leave him on the island because it was 50 other people that rode in with somebody different that rode out and with not the same person. So he could have did the same thing, but you worried enough to call the guard and not the police. It's not making sense to me, but we gonna keep on listening to see if it makes sense to any of my chat. I appreciate that love, y'all. I appreciate them likes. Yeah, we had to start back from the bottom and restart the stream because it was skipping a lot. I had went to the store with the stream still moving and it started skipping a lot, so we got to start back over. The 38 likes, they didn't mean nothing. God damn it, we got to get 38 again. God damn it. Matthew Joseph, I appreciate that. Shout out to Matthew Joseph. He said Jesus, and that's true. Yeah, shout out to Ronald Davis. Like he said, yeah. If there was a black kid with Warren's, if there was Nolan with Warren's phones and keys, Nolan would be locked up right now. White boys will be saying, the rest of the white boys be saying, I don't know what happened. Yeah, maybe Nolan could have did something to him. That's what they'd be saying. Yeah, maybe Nolan did do something to him because we didn't even know that Nolan had his phone and his keys. That's how this shit'll be going. Yeah, y'all like the video. Sub to the channel for sure. Back into it. Wrap it up in a minute. We can't go too long. I gotta get some rest and work.
Your family then?
Oh yeah, Nolan was always around our houses. I mean, I can even say this: Nolan and Wyatt's dad had secret friendship that we weren't even in.
Yeah, they were like best friends.
We would go over to Wyatt's house, and Nolan, we would all be in the backyard, whatever, doing something, and Nolan would be inside on the couch with Wyatt's dad, and they'd just be cutting it up.
They'd be in the backyard getting high and drunk. That's why Nolan hung with his dad. It just came to me. It wasn't because they was messing with Nolan or making Nolan upset or anything. They drank and probably smoked weed a lot. And Nolan was an athlete, so he couldn't really do that. So when they go outside in the backyard, because the parents ain't letting them smoke their weeds and shit and get super drunk inside the house, shit'll start getting fucked up. So y'all can go in the backyard with the pool and shit, on the patio, on the deck. Dad will barbecue some steaks or some burgers or something, shit like that. And y'all can get drunk and communicate with each other. But Nolan, he don't be out there. Because y'all gonna make steak damn near blunt to him. Want him to keep on drinking. He got practice in the morning. Yeah, Nolan couldn't hang with y'all too much. He loved just getting away though. You know what I'm saying? So Wyatt's dad kept that man company when he was getting away from shit. Y'all didn't keep him company. Y'all was more concerned about having an NCAA star present with y'all while y'all get drunk. He not finna get drunk and high. Everywhere you go, motherfucker taking a picture. This could end his career before it starts. I appreciate y'all coming in. Those of you coming in, man, y'all like the video for me. Subscribe to the channel, please. We need all subscriptions here. We trying to hit 1,000. Fuck what the haters talking about. Let's go ahead and hit 1,000. But let's get back into the interview because I want y'all to hear this. This shit is getting good.
Up all night.
Yeah, watching
night.
movies together, like
Scarface was their favorite movie.
Yeah.
They'd watch Scarface.
All the time.
But it really
time.
shows you like the effect like all this has had on everybody, not including just our friend group, but like our friends' parents and my parents. Like our friends were really and families were really close with Nolan. And I mean, this has been a horrible tragedy, not just for us, but for our families and friends too. My mom knew Nolan because she used to drive us to school. It's a week. My stepdad knew Nolan because he used to drive us. My dad, everybody, like,
And he would always come to the house too all the time.
And not just that, but like I'm talking about like from a young age, like from 8th grade. But Nolan would always be at our house to stay at our houses, and for his parents to come out and say, "Oh, well, we don't know these boys." Well, then does that mean you don't know where we're staying at night? Because he was staying at our houses. So,
Man, I want to slap.
Sorry to interrupt. I know you're enjoying this incredible interview. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button.
there to go out to Horn Island. Usually Nolan's with us. And every single year for the 4th of July when we go out there, Nolan's with us. I mean, this is a tradition. I mean, everybody all year. For
Everybody that just came in, man, smash that like button for me. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. We getting into this interview with Dick Ride Tape and the boys. We getting into that interview. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. We need the likes. We need the subs. Yeah, don't hate. Congratulate.
Horn Island, 4th of July, like that is the place to be. That is all day. And it is literally right up all of our alleys. Like that's what I want to do all day. Like that's the funnest day of the year. And yeah.
I mean, Nolan was with us 2 weeks prior to the 4th of July at Horn Island.
Yeah.
With no one out there. If we had any intention to hurt Nolan at the island, why would we do it on the 4th of July with thousands of people out there? I mean, it's pretty clear. We literally all went out there for my buddy's birthday, and Nolan was.
That's not something you say, my guy. You shouldn't have never said that, Jax. If we had any intentions to hurt Nolan, why would we do it on the July? Like you've had intentions before. And you never, ever considered the 4th of July. That's how detectives, especially homicide detectives and agents, FBI, DEA, CIA, U.S. Marshals, that's how they look into those type of answers. You were not supposed to say that. We would not harm Nolan. And if we did want to harm Nolan, why would we do it on Horn Island? If we did want to harm Nolan on Horn Island, why would we do it on the 4th of July with thousands of people? That's just something that an innocent person would not say. That's something that an innocent person would not say. I'm sorry, Jax. You just got yourself in some big trouble. I'm just going to let you know. I'm going to let my chat know. Those of you coming in, subscribe to the channel. I was going to say survive to the channel. Hey, we in survival mode. Survive to the channel. Now, for real though, subscribe to the channel. Like the video. I really appreciate it.
With a whole group of people like we were with on the 4th. So, I mean, that's.
Yeah, and it was on like a Wednesday.
It's not like
Nobody
this is.
was out
It's
there,
not like
yeah.
this is just like a random like occasion. No,
We've
we
got
do
all
this
the
all the
time,
time, and not even just Horn Island, but no one's on the boat with us all the time. We all go on the boat. We all do things together like this. So,
I want to get to some pointed questions about the phone situation, because I think last time, Warren, when you and I talked or spoke, you weren't
appreciate
at
that
the
light
house
right
when the
there.
phone
I
was
appreciate
recovered.
that, y'all.
So I want
working hard
to
for
figure
it.
this
Nigga
out.
working hard
Explain
for
to
it.
me,
Love,
because a lot of
for
people
sure.
are still online saying that they find it to
sure,
be
for
incredibly suspicious that Nolan left his phone. Can you explain, did Nolan ask you for his phone back when you guys were leaving? Was it not a part of the conversation? Was Nolan the only person that left his phone on the boat? Can you guys walk me through that idea?
So I can go ahead first and say nobody has their phone in the water. Even when you jump in a pool, do you have your phone? Like, no, you don't. You're not going to bring your electronic in the water. So what everybody does is they stick their phones on the dash of the boat and they forget about it because you don't have good service. You can't even send a picture through from Horn Island to like somebody else. And so they put it on the phone and...
Let me just stop him right there. This is why what he's saying is stupid, and it sounds very stupid, right? Listen, doesn't matter that people keep their phones on the boats when they hop off the boat, right? The thing is that you got all these people here. Somebody gonna want to take a picture, so stop saying that. You got all of these motherfuckers that done took pictures with Nolan, of Nolan. Y'all done took pictures with Nolan, of Nolan. You got somebody standing on the island, paying the damn boat, taking a video of the boat of just y'all. That's why I believe it was someone on the boat. After Nolan got unalived, you got someone on the boat to step off the boat, back onto the island with their motherfucking phone. When they got out the boat, you handed them their phone. Arms raised in the air, they walked their ass to the island, and then they recorded just y'all boat, and y'all stood and said like nothing was wrong. That's another thing that's gonna back y'all up on this lie that y'all was supposed to be leaving, but y'all ain't leave until 4:30, And the picture supposedly was taken around 4:30. So what all happened before 4:30? And yeah, y'all can have Nolan body tucked to where we can't see it on the motherfucking boat. Yeah, it could be on the wall of the boat that the camera is facing. Yeah, not the wall that we can see in the camera, but that wall right there that's behind you. You all could be acting just to cover your asses. You went this far. What would make me believe that you're not finna try to cover your ass right now? You went this far. You slipped up multiple times and your ass haven't been arrested. Your first slip was calling everybody and telling them, asking them. Before you asked everybody, called every single person. You text Javon and you text him that you were gonna call the fucking Coast Guard. Does he has Nolan mom's number? Before you even called Nolan mom, you told Javon this. Before you even attempt to call Nolan's mom, right after you text Javon, you call Tristan. Let's call Tristan and tell him and ask him the same thing, like we concerned. Yeah, any criminal will do this shit. Yeah, hey Tristan, have you heard from Nolan? Meanwhile, you got his phone and you know you got his phone. You haven't told anybody, hey, have you heard from Nolan? We got his phone. We haven't heard from him. We thought by now he would have been called his own phone or he would have called his phone. If you had Nolan's phone and you left him alive on that island, he would have, that's the one number that he can remember. Kids can't remember numbers nowadays. Shit, we don't even remember numbers nowadays. You know why? Because we have phones and call logs and contact books in our phones that were electronic. So unless that's a number that we call all the time, we damn near not going to remember it. Even if it's one that we call all the time, we damn near never even pay attention to the number we call it, just the name that we got for the number. So if he can remember anybody's number, he's going to remember his. Why didn't you say, hey, we got Nolan's phone. We left him at the island. We haven't heard back from him. He hasn't even called his phone. Why didn't you say that? We got his phone. He hasn't even called his phone. So we know something got to be wrong. Why didn't you say that? You know why you didn't say that? You know why you didn't include that you had his phone? Because you just wanted to cover your own ass. And any detective standing on the outside of this looking in will say that's the key piece of evidence they need to take to the judge for the judge to write a warrant for your arrest so they can treat you hostile when they interrogate you. Yeah, and they bring, I appreciate them like y'all, and they bring your ass in. What's up, Will? Yeah, my top sniper in this motherfucker, she welcoming everybody. William Lynch, she welcoming everybody. She say, welcome chat, please like, subscribe, comment, support, and send them interactions through the chat. Yeah, loves, the ones, the laughs, we love them all. I appreciate them loves right there, y'all. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but why didn't you say that? You want me to, that's why I said yesterday, when we went live yesterday, I said, you want me to believe this shit? Then make me believe it. It's easy to make me believe it if you're telling the truth, because I'm going to see through a lie. Yeah, like my grandma and my auntie used to tell me when I was small, we can see through you when you lie. My auntie used to come over. You want me to read you and tell what happened at school? Read you mean let you tell what happened at school. And she can dissect the truth from out of that, and the lie that you surrounded with the truth to make it seem like you was telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Analytical brain, analytical thinking, get it from my grandma and my auntie. Yeah, my grandma set up. I watched Law and Order with my grandma, goddamn it, so many times. I can damn near tell you the episode and everything that's gonna happen when your ass turn it on. No matter what Law and Order episode come on. I've seen all of them motherfuckers 5, 6, 7, 20 times. Yeah, they're gonna play all the seasons throughout this first year. And then the next year they're gonna replay them seasons. Next year they're gonna replay them same season. Yeah, I know them all. An analytical mind, I got that. I'm not fooled by these guys, and I don't want nobody to be fooled by these guys. This intimidation tactic that the lawyers using, look, that shit is thrown to the wayside with me. You can't intimidate me. Yeah, Tyler and Edward Cox, y'all can't intimidate me. You never was in the military. Only niggas that can intimidate me is military-minded niggas that's been trained in intimidation tactics and shit with interrogations. Yeah, they know real intimidation tactics. These little minor, what y'all trying to throw out here, this shit not scaring me. And damn sure ain't scaring my chat. Y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already a part of the family. Yeah. We probably go about 30 more minutes, 35 more minutes or something like that. It's about 11:30. I gotta get ready for work and shit like that. Yeah. Nigga work 2 jobs. Nigga stream and work a 9 to 5. Yeah, we was just 4 hours up. They fucked the stream off. We had to start back over. What it do, Way of Water? Shout out my girl, Way of Water, coming in this joint. Yeah, I already know. I ain't even got to tell her to like or subscribe. She already subscribed. She already hit the notification bell and press all so she can get all the notifications when we go live. And she already liked it. I'm not. I looked up, I saw we went up, but like, I already know she did. Yep. What it do, Way of Water? Shout out my girl, Way of Water, for sure. She in the building. Y'all show us some love, chat.
Even as teenagers, we don't really get on them. We go out there and we conversate, and we see a bunch of people that we usually don't see on a day-to-day basis, that we graduated high school with. You know, it's a big meeting, like seeing all your friends that you haven't seen in a while. So whenever we were coming back in, he didn't even think about grabbing his phone. He never asked about his phone, along with 5 other people that also left their phones on the boat, and we had to wait at the boat launch for them to come and pick them up, including.
Yeah, Javon is one of the guys in the friend group.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Javon's a friend of mine, friend of ours. Like, not as tight as Nolan. Javon's in the class under me in school. He's a friend of mine. But just like a lot of our other friends, Javon's our friend. He left the phone on the boat because we're trustworthy people. We're not going to steal something. We're not going to delete the pictures off of someone's phone. We're not going to delete text messages. We're not going to get on anyone.
Yeah, we'll get to that because I think I have the timeline in my mind. So you guys, the boat is taking in water. You had already left, Morgan, right? You had already left on a boat. So there's 3 boats. You had already left about 5 minutes before this situation happened. The last 2 boats was Bart's boat.
Yeah. Shout out Way of Water. She said I was working up late, but you know I always thumbs you up. Damn right. You always get a light. How y'all doing? We doing good. So I new interview that came out with Eli Jax. Eli Jax Patillo. With his Latino ass, right? That's the one they talking about, Latino. but everybody call him white. That's because he look white, but he full-blooded like. That's why they just call him Jax. They leave the Eli out because it's a black Latino name. Yeah, they leave the Eli out. They don't call him Eli. They just call him Jax. It sound more Caucasian. Sound more of a white boy name, Jax. You know what I'm saying? Only Jax we know as black people is Jax from Mortal Kombat. Jax from Mortal Kombat with the robot arm. Yeah. That's only black people. Don't take any offense, my white people. I love y'all. Mostly holding on. Mostly had on. Okay. Yeah. What it do? They laughing at me. They like, this man crazy. Real. That's the only Jax we know. Mostly hated on. Okay. That's what's up. Mostly hated on. What it do? Yeah. Shout out to Mostly Hated on. Yeah, make sure you like the video. Sub to the channel if you're not already sub. Yeah, what it do, Fitz? Yeah, Fitz in this bitch. Friendly skies. Okay, there we go. We pouring in. Friendly skies. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Friendly skies, what it do? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's something we say a lot here in Memphis. Sub to the channel. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You was laughing at me. Yeah, about Jax. That's the only black Jax we know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Black guy with the steel arm. Yeah, I already know what you was laughing at for sure. I think it's right. Before you said it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. What it do? Yes. Fist in it, bitch, say yes, big brother. How do you do? I do fine and dandy. Yeah. William, you said you back and forth. I already know, girl. Already know it. I appreciate the love. Let's get back into this interview, because this motherfucker popping off. This motherfucker get real good. I mean, they just be lying. Y'all see how I can stop this shit and explain it to y'all, and this shit make a lot of sense. We really analyze this shit, break that shit down, for sure. Yeah, that's a lie, my guy.
In Wyatt's boat, and the boats that left out because Bart was kind of towing Wyatt's boat out. So you guys are on the boat. What conversation with Nolan? Because Nolan obviously had come in on Wyatt's boat. You guys are all getting ready to leave. So what was the communication like with Nolan?
So, actually, Wyatt was saying, told Nolan, because Nolan's with this girl at this point. They're together. Wyatt looked at Nolan. He was like, dude, come on. Boat's taking on water. We got to go. Like, right now. And didn't want to go. He said, Wyatt started yelling at him. He's like, Nolan, get on the boat now. And Nolan's like, no. And then finally, Wyatt's like, Nolan, get on the effing boat right now. We are leaving right now. And Nolan said he had another ride back, and we had no time to waste. We got to get the boat out of there before it goes under.
JAX.
And it was that, and when that, like, was there an issue? Believe that Nolan will be able to get back, or were you like?
So what I can say is, I've been out countless times on one boat to Horn Island, and came back on another. I went out on one boat and my friends left, and I just know so many people out there. I didn't even think about, do I have a ride already set up? I just know many people out there that I'm like, okay, there's 100% sure I can find a ride back, and which I have before.
Did Nolan know plenty of people out there, my nigga? Which I have before. You talking about you, we talking about Nolan, my nigga. He about you. No. He asked him about Nolan, chat, but he started talking about himself. You want to hear it again?
With Nolan, because Nolan obviously had come in. Bart was, I think I have the timeline in my mind. So you guys, the boat is taking water. You guys, you had already left, Morgan, right? You had already left on a boat. So there's 3 boats. You had already left about 5 minutes before this situation. It was Bart's boat and Wyatt's boat, and those are the 2 boats that left out
Wyatt's
because
other boat.
Bart was kind of towing Wyatt's boat out. So you guys are on the boat. What was the conversation with Nolan? Because Nolan obviously had come in on Wyatt's boat. You guys are all getting ready to leave. So what was the communication like with Nolan?
What was the communication like with Nolan? Listen to his answer. What was the communication like with Nolan?
So, actually, Wyatt was saying, told Nolan, because Nolan's with them. They're together.
Listen.
Wyatt looked at Nolan. He was like, dude, come on. Boat's taking on water. We got to go. Right. And Nolan goes. He said he wanted to stay with the girl. And
now he's just saying that's it. Nolan, come on. You asked his hand that because his lawyer heard this interview and told him you shouldn't have never said that Wyatt yelled it at Nolan. You shouldn't have never said Wyatt yelled at Nolan. So now he's saying, Wyatt was like, come on, man. He's just saying the regular. Nigga, we ain't forget that you said he yelled it at Nolan. That's the hostile person. The only hostile altercation that Nolan had that whole day. Don't believe he was there at 6 and got into a fucking fight. You know how many... Division 2. He's supposed to be going into Division 1 tomorrow. Let's get it. He won't be going to Division 1 tomorrow with this one. You know how many people would have wanted to catch him if Nolan was fighting? Y'all make that shit make sense now. If Nolan was really fighting on that island, you know how many people... This nigga made the front page of Sports Illustrated before he got out of high school. You make that make sense. Playing NCAA college football and he's straight out of high school. It's the summer. College football ain't even really started yet. This is the summer league of the Division 2 going into the season. And they already said, you don't belong in Division 2, Nolan. You belong in Division 1, NCAA. We want you to try out on the 5th. We're going to bring you in right after the 4th of July. Does that sound good to you? So you can enjoy your 4th of July? You know what Nolan said? Yes, sir. Shook them folks' hands. Folks said, okay, we'll have your contract ready. Trial first. If you make it, you sign a contract with us. See, this bring him into the money. He can make millions while he's in college if he plays for NCAA. Division 1, Division 2. He will be one of the top college athletes. He will be a starting freshman. He will be able to go into college and start his freshman year on the field. Yeah, the first 12, 13 members that's on the field, he'll be a part of. Wide receiver. Nolan Wells, freshman. conference saying that they don't receive no wells from what high school he coming from. Yeah, Sports Illustrated. The coach has done a press conference with the media and Nolan sitting next to him like he's going straight into the NFL. See, they only do this for people that become first round picks and shit. Yeah, that shoot past the rookie. Because some people come into the NFL, most people that come into the NFL have to go into the rookie contract. Yeah, if you get bought up by a team and you don't get no special placement on start, you usually get the $5 million rookie contract. $5 million 5-year rookie contract. And that's your first big contract. And then after that, they'll invite you into the 100,000s and shit like that. But you'll go back into the draft picks. While you're a rookie in the NFL already, you'll go back into the draft picks. And you'll get drafted to start on the team. That'll into them tens of millions, $50 million contract, $60 million contract, $100 million, $200, $300 million contract like the wide receivers and the quarterbacks get. 200 and 300 million. That's where Nolan was headed. Each contract he signed, 200, 300 million. This is where he was headed. So all that accidental shit, nigga, run that past somebody else. Like this. Listen, Warren, Jax, Morgan, Bart, if you want to get in this, but I don't think you do, run that shit past somebody else. It was accidental drowning. Sheriff Department, run it past somebody else. This nigga had too much at stake for you to tell me that accident. Nah, my nigga. Anything that I see, nigga, if the water moved me the wrong way once, I'm getting out that water, nigga, and I'm not getting back in it. I know I got an NFL contract coming to me soon. I'm finna go into Division I tomorrow. NCAA. I'm finna get opened up into the $1 million endorsements and shit that them college football players get, them star college football players get, will open them up to the millions before they even in the NFL. Which make the NFL say, hey, we gonna get you first round draft pick. Yeah, we not gonna give you the rookie contract. Yeah. We wanna offer you $66 million for your first 5 years. Yeah, that's where Nolan was headed. So yeah, y'all missed me with that fake shit. Nolan wasn't finna jeopardize nothing. He definitely wasn't finna jeopardize his life, and he knew what he had going. All that accidental now. This day, July the 4th, he was not getting into no type of accidents. At home was very good. He didn't get in trouble. So to tell me, oh, it probably was his parents. It wasn't his parents. My nigga, he loved his nanny.
He's like, Nolan, get on the boat now. And Nolan's like, and finally, Wyatt's like, Nolan, get on the effing boat right now. We are leaving right now. And Nolan said he had another ride back, and we had no more time to waste. We got to get the boat out of there for it.
This is the thing. He played for community college, right? Some places, let me explain to you, some places, some cities, not NFL here, went to a big university. Now, it might have big university colleges that wanted Nolan, right? But he didn't go with him because he wanted to stay at home. He wanted to be there with his mom and his dad and his brothers, right? So he chose this community college. He blew up the community college team. He put them on the board with actual universities. He boosted as a player, right? As a matter that he was going to a community, that's the one he chose. More than that, he had multiple scholarships. This is what he chose. It doesn't matter about the community college. They're playing NCAA. Straight out of school. In Division I. NCAA is what's going to get them into the NFL, not college football. You can only go straight into the NCAA if you're one of the top, like if you're the best. Look this up. They will tell you, if you ask Google, can you go into the NCAA? Ask Google this. Can you go into the NCAA while you're in high school? It's going to tell you no. Then ask them, can you go into the NCAA Division I high school? They're going to tell you yes. If you're one of those players that has, if you're one of those players in your state, where you're from, NCAA will to get into the NCAA Division I and Division II. But if they don't recognize you as a top player, you're not going to be able to get into either one of those. He don't have to play at the best university. He get home and go to this community college and put them on the map. While at the same time, still being drafted first round picks into the NFL because he played Division II, and they said you're way better than this. As a high school student coming straight out of high school, you're way better than this. It's nothing but college students in Division I and Division II. The only other high school students that's in Division II is the ones that's great like you. But how many of those high school students that came into the summer in Division II already wants them, and they ain't even paid a full 2 months Division II? None of them. So you gotta look at that. You gotta look at this, CJ. It's not about his college. College football should go around everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like Ivy League, look at this. Like universities play with universities. And they will play with some community colleges. Right? If stats are high enough. Like Nolan was finna take the Greyhounds. Right? But as far as college football, it ain't too many players coming straight out of high school that can get up with them college. These niggas in Division I and Division II been playing for 2, 3, 4, 5 years in college. You know what I'm saying? Like they big. They NFL size. See, because that's what you preparing for when you play Division I and Division II. Not a lot of people do it in such a short amount of time. But yeah, he ain't risking shit right now. So all this shit accidental death. Oh, he accidentally drowned. No, he didn't, my nigga. If he felt like the water was getting too heavy, goddammit, he out that fucking water and not back in it. Like he was out the water and not back in it with Katie. He was chilling with Katie.
Goes under.
And it was that, and when the,
Hey, I appreciate that. Like those of you come in, subscribe to the channel. God damn it, we finna go for about 12 more minutes. I gotta get ready for work. I love y'all and I thank y'all for the support. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
when Nolan said that, like, was there an issue that you believe that Nolan will be able to get back, or concerned with, like,
So
explain that.
what I can say is, countless times on one boat to Horn Island, I've done it before where I went out on one boat and my friends left, and I just know so many people out there. I didn't even think about, do I have a ride already set up? I just know so many people out there that I'm like, okay, there's 100% sure I can find a ride back, and which I have before, you know? And it's one of those things where it's at Horn Island, you don't even have to know somebody to ask for a ride back in. They're gonna bring you in. You know, it's not like, oh, are they gonna bring me in, or are they not, should I ask? No, if you ask anybody out there, 100.
Well, then why did you feel that you need to call the Coast Guard? If you're so sure, Warren, my guy, if you're so sure, why did you feel that you need to call the Coast Guard? If you're so sure, if he asks anybody, no one's gonna leave you on Horn Island. So if no one's gonna leave you on Horn Island, how did he end up in the water again? Because what we heard on the CETO call is true. That's all I gotta say.
Percent, they'll bring you back.
Southern hospitality.
Yeah,
Or
boating-
South Mississippi.
I mean, we had somebody.
The boating community is so like tight knit. Like it doesn't matter like who you are. If someone sees you struggling on,
That word again. Our boating community is so tight.
and matter the case, they will come and help you. They will do anything in their power to help you and bring you back to the main.
I'll put another example out there. We know another kid who was pretty intoxicated out there, and he couldn't find his boat. And he asked somebody random that he didn't even know if he could catch a ride back with them. And they were like, yeah, got him on the boat, called his parents, told them the situation was going on, and then took him back on inshore.
And that happened this
4th of July.
This current for.
So you guys you leave. Nolan is there. I'm what you're telling me. I'm perceiving that you guys are accepting that Nolan's going to get a ride back somewhere else. Y'all taking on water. Explain to the audience, what does this sinking boat thing like? Because I think that people are in good faith. The ones who are acting in good faith are genuinely curious of, like, are you sinking? Do you think you're gonna sink? Because you hear Wyatt on the phone and he's like, we're sinking, we're going down. And obviously you never went down. So can you explain what he was saying about going down? Was there a little bit of water? Was he just panicking more than?
Yeah, that's beautiful, Feds. That's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, if they can sue them folks, yeah, for wrongful death, you're right, because he did leave with them. God damn it. But was supposed to bring back off the water.
The normal, or like what was that? And I want you to explain too, like, what happened, how you recovered the boat, and how did you get back to the mainland?
So I'm gonna go ahead and first off explain a boat. So a bilge pump is in the bilge. The bilge is underneath the deck where you stand, and the.
He didn't even ask all that, but this nigga said, first I'm gonna explain the boat. This how they throw you off. Make you forget what they were supposed to be talking about.
Very bottom of the boat. You're back. So we hook up the boats.
No, COSTO.
Okay.
Let's get to that part. Because you COSTO first?
No,
or you had the boats hooked up first?
We had the boats hooked up first.
Oh,
I told y'all they hooked them boats up. First. Once Bart hooked their boat up and started to pull them, then Wyatt called CETO. I told y'all. Yeah. They wasn't just sitting there and he called CETO, right? So how the fuck do they got a picture with the boat not moving and Wyatt is on the phone and they saying that's when Wyatt was calling CETO? Are y'all hearing what they saying? On that picture where the still and they all just sitting on the boat, and Wyatt is in the picture with a phone up to his ear, they saying Wyatt is called Cito. But this issue, and I already told y'all when I analyzed the story 2 weeks ago, I told y'all. Now, Bart ass hooked that boat up. Once he started pulling the boat, that's when they called Cito. I said by the time he got the boat pulled out of the group of the other boats, that's when he pulled this boat around the side of their boat and he tapped their boat. And that's why you heard a motherfucker saying, damn it, it's likely Nolan body fell over from them sitting him up. Fell over and slid. Boom. His head hit the wall or some shit like that. I said, that's what made him say, damn it, Bart. And then somebody say, Nono's really dead now. I said, nah, nigga, he was already dead. When he first got on that boat, Wyatt didn't waste no time. Get the fuck off my boat. He pushed him, bruh, slipped up, broke his neck. Boom. Hit the back of his head on the surface that he broke his neck on the edge of. I said, it happens all the fucking time. He could have hit his head and bled out, but it was no signs or nobody said anything about blood being on the boat. That would have just been, they clean that shit up. Blood stains heavily. Yeah, but I told he just confirmed what I said a long time ago.
Okay.
So we hook up the boats and we start throwing him out. And he's on the phone with Joe. Because, hold on, let me go back a second. The electronics completely glitched out. Nothing is working on the boat. There's so much water in there. The batteries are completely underwater. Like yeah. Everything's fried, basically. So we have it connected, kind of towing him out. And he's on the phone with Cito, and he's trying to get them on the phone. And as he stated in the moment, he's like, Cito's just asking all these dumb questions. I can't figure out what's going on.
Yeah, the neck was missing because I believe he broke his neck. I believe Wyatt put because he told him, get the fuck off my boat. Don't come on my boat now. You didn't come when I told you to come the first time. Because Nolan saw Warren getting on the boat. When Warren first took the interview and he said, yeah, my buddy, he wasn't just really saying that, he was really yelling, but we all knew that he was frustrated because his boat was taking on water. So he like, no, get the fuck on the boat. Like, come on now. If you're gonna come, you need to come fucking now. We're leaving. And Nolan said, I'm gonna stay and catch a ride with somebody else. I said, of course he said that. He was planning on taking a ride back with Warren and Bart, because Warren was still but in the interview that he told Bart that he was gonna help Wyatt because his boat was taking on water. Now, when Nolan seen his ass go to Wyatt's boat and see that he was staying with Wyatt and pulling off, not knowing that Bart was finna get ready to tow them, that's when Nolan told Katie, hey, I'm finna go back to the boat. They finna get ready to leave. Because that's when he felt safe. Warren was supposed to free out all of them. So, but I said Warren played it neutral when he got on Wyatt's boat, and Wyatt said, no, you didn't want to fucking get on the boat when I told you to get off my boat. He the person that got hostile with Nolan Day. Get off that boat, man, you gonna have to put me off this boat and get back home. Morning. I got trouts in the morning. And he came up to Nolan. I believe he pushed Nolan. He know the slipperiest parts of the flow when the water hit the floor of that boat and everything. Some parts of the flow be slippery, more slippery than the others. He pushed Nolan, I believe, and Nolan flipped up, and his neck hit the edge of the boat, like the edge part, and his head hit the surface on top of that edge part, like blah, boom. And I believe he broke his neck. And that's where the second autopsy, we seen the red blood pooling in the back. I believe that's where they came from. That's why they sent the neck for further examination, because they saw fractures or something in the neck from him breaking his neck. You know what I'm saying? I believe the niggas to say that he drowned, to contaminate all evidence, everybody who touched him, DNA and shit, to get the DNA off of him. Salt water will work in those different type of ways and kill certain DNA samples and shit like that. Yeah, Nolan probably never had a chance to even put his hands on that man. Or else, when the nigga would have if the nigga would have ran to him instead of catching him off guard, Nolan would have maybe been able to grab him. If he would have pushed Nolan, some DNA would have got under Nolan's nails. I believe that's what happened. I believe so. We got the FBI and the DOJ on this motherfucker now from Washington. Yeah, and we got the Congressional Black Caucus party. They done joined in too. Yeah, so Congress on this motherfucker. Now we got Congress on this motherfucker. Now it ain't no way they can hide anything anymore.
Finally hangs up, and after the trim to the motor started to work again. So they manually trim it down by the buttons on the motor, trimmed it down, and some electronics started to come back on. That's because if you can get a boat on plane, the suction of the water going underneath it will actually pull all the water out of the bilge if you have the plug out. So like say you have the plug out and it's sitting, the boat will sink. If you have the plug out and you're running, all the water will rush out the back of the boat.
So yeah, going into deep depths about waters and Russians and all of that shit. We don't want to hear about no water. We don't want to hear about no Russians. Yeah, y'all like the video. Subscribe to the channel. We coming back at you tonight. We gonna finish this tonight. I gotta get ready for work. I don't know if I'm gonna get no rest. But man, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for coming, chilling with me, coming back with me for sure. Yeah, y'all. With no further ado, this blocks analytics. They know who. And what did we just do? We just analyzed the fuck out of some shit. I appreciate that sub, my brother. Yeah. Yeah, my brother King, he just subbed for me. I appreciate that, brother. Yeah. We gonna finish this tonight, man, cause you was interacting good up in chat, man. We gotta talk. We gotta talk. Yeah, we gotta talk about this. Yeah. Yeah, coming down. Let them know. Spread the word. We don't get no fuck about the haters. They gonna hate anyway. You know what I'm saying? We gotta fight through that, fight past that. You know what I'm saying? it'll make us stronger at the end of the day. But you've been chilling with yours truly, man. If I styles all the way from Memphis, don't you forget me. Yeah, we'll be back tonight, y'all. For you.